All right, well, thank you so much for having me. My name is Jim Kettleson. I'm the football official for about the last 15 years. For the last 9 years, I've been a college football official. I'm also a data scientist in my real life. The reason why I'm here is to show you guys a little bit of something about what AI can do to help you guys in your officiating career. Now, this really came to me last year, as on Mondays, a friend of mine who was on my college crew started assigning football games. And when he assigned football games, he said, hey, listen, I got these Monday night JV games. Do you want to do them? And then you can go out there and work with some younger officials. Man, I was honored he asked me to it, but when I got out there, I was scared. Because I saw a group of officials that didn't come to these kind of meetings, so thank you guys for coming. Instead, they came online. They did all their training online. They did all their testing online. And then when they got out on their field, they struggled. Not only did they struggle, they didn't meet people in a room like this. So they didn't have someone to bounce questions off of. So they had no one to ask questions to. And then it all came clear to me why we have so many young officials leaving. Because who would want to stay? They got nowhere to go, no real help out there. They make a couple of mistakes on the field. They get a coach, they get a parent yelling at them, and they say to themselves, man, I'm only making $55. So I said, what could I do to help this? Well, hopefully in this next presentation, if you're a newer official, you'll see what AI can do to help you. But then also, if you're a veteran official, you can see how to use it to help you. And then we'll talk a little bit about the future, and then finally we'll have some fun with it. Because there's a lot of things that are fun about AI, and I hope you guys do appreciate the presentation. So what is AI? I know people are really scared of it, right? What really is it right now? All it is a prediction model. So you type in a question and it predicts what answer you want. Now, in the beginning it was a really poor prediction. Due to some things that the guys at OpenAI did with ChatGPT, which is put billions of dollars into a model and say everybody could use it for free, it's a really good prediction at this point. So what did I do? All I did was train one of the ChatGPT models on the rules of high school football, the rules of college football, and then finally the rules of NFL football. So if you're a newer official, you can go online to a tool like mine or ChatGPT. You can just click on the tool. It's going to take you in, and you can actually just copy and paste any question that you have. So this is from an off-season rules test, right? I can just hit edit, copy, and I can paste it right into the tool. I can hit send. Once again, this is just a large language model that's trained on the rules of football. It's going to give me the answer and it's going to break it down for me. Okay? Now, the first thing people ask if you're a newer official, well, how accurate is this? Right now, it's still learning the rules of football, right? So on the NFL level, it's pretty accurate. There's a lot of information on NFL rules right now. So we're looking at about 93% accurate. From the college level, we're looking at about 87% accurate. High school, it's a little bit less. We're in the high 70s to low 80s. So the tool is not perfect. There's some problems with it. Number one, it doesn't understand the football field very well. So when you get a half the distance to the goal line penalty, remember it's a large language model, LLM. It's really not meant for math. It gets confused by that. But for majority of rules, if you're a new football official, this is a great place to start. You can go here and then you can ask it, what rule reference is it? And you can go in the book instead of having to go dig through and look. You can get the actual rules reference and go and read about that rule. I do not want you to ever think that AI is going to replace us. It won't. Not in the next 20, 25 years. What we have to start thinking about is how can we use it to augment our skills? And this is where it really, really helps people. I mean, from writing people's reviews this year, I wrote all my reviews, don't tell my staff, on AI. It took me days to do. Now it got down to about 15 minutes. Because AI generated most of the information, it had the information, and I just touched it up and we went with the review. So as you're thinking about it, if you're a newer official, use AI to augment your football experience, your officiating experience. Now you can say, well, you know, I got a pretty good understanding of the rules, Jim. If I'm an older official, how could I use AI? Well, remember, this knows the rules of football. So it will write any kind of presentation you want. So let's say write a 6-minute presentation on targeting. It's going to think. Now, let's say you're going to go to a pregame, right? You're thinking about football, Friday, what are we going to talk about before the game in our pregame, and we don't really know? Well, instead of you having to generate the material, you can just lean on AI. It's going to give you a 6-minute presentation, and it's going to break down the rule. You can just print that off, bring it to the game, now you got your presentation ready to go. Or you can email it to the crew, hey, this is what I'm going to talk about. Does anybody have any questions? Does that make sense to everybody? So if you're a veteran official, it can help you too. Use it. We don't get paid a lot, right? So our time is valuable. Take advantage of it and use it. Finally, the other thing that it can do, which is kind of fun and kind of interesting, is you can have really a lot of fun with this. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about where AI is going. Because truthfully, this is just the beginning of it. It's going to become more and more a part of our lives. And I know that there's some scary parts of it. And I'm confident that we in the data science business will get that struck right. But when you think about it, there's no reason why we should be using walkie-talkies on the field anymore. Each and every one of us has a handheld computer that we walk around with every day. First and foremost, I don't want to charge the walkie-talkies anymore. I'm sorry, I don't know if anybody on your crew has to charge the walkie-talkies. That's my job. I hate it. But secondly, this is a computer. This is a device that we could be using on the field. Now, what's the drawback? Well, you can get a text on the field, you can get a phone call, it looks like crap. What is the real advantage? At any time, I could call, a model and get an answer. So, in my opinion, the next thing that we're going to really see is an on-field rules wizard, where you will have in your earphone connected to a computer, and the computer will allow you to ask it questions. This way, if you ever get into a game situation like happened last year, where we were unclear what the foul for, what the yardage was for an illegal man downfield penalty. Because somebody actually said 10 over our walkie-talkie, and then that caused all kinds of chaos. We can just go to the rules wizard, and the rules wizard can give us the answer. That, to me, is going to be the next step. What's the next step out from there? We don't have the technology yet for this. We definitely have the technology for the rules wizard. Let's see if I can get it to work real quick here. We'll do try to get a live demo. These are always fun, right, John?
NCAA football rules next question. What football rules question do you have for me today?
What's the penalty for a legal man downfield?
The penalty for a legal man downfield is a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. This infraction typically occurs when a defensive lineman on more than 3 yards downfield during a forward pass play, which is...
So obviously that's a college rule. Don't listen. That's the college model. But as you see, there's no reason why in the next 3 to 5 years we can't improve our officiating by using AI, using technology on the field. The next thing that's coming down the line, which we don't have the capability to do yet, is video evaluation. But it's coming fast. The model will be able to evaluate a live stream video in real time and say if there is a foul or if there's not a foul. And how I see it playing out is each official will have a little beeper. And for the younger guys, there's a lot of times when you're on the field and you're looking at a play. And for me, I'm at the referee position, so I can get a good look at that hold, right? And I say to myself in my head, well, that's a hold, right? Now I got to think, is there advantage, disadvantage? What's the effect on the play? But then if I get to the second time, it's a hold. And it's play side, right? It's still going on. I get to that third, it's a hold. The flag's coming out, right? Because now I know I got a good hold. It's play side. It's the call that we want to call. The AI model will pick that up in the same time you're thinking about it. So if you have a hold and the AI catches a hold, it's going to buzz you on the belt. You say to yourself, "That's a hold. That's a hold." You feel the hold. Now you feel the buzz. Now you got a really good flag. That's how I see it playing out. I also see it, of course, after the game, we'll do a film evaluation. One of the nice things about working college is that you do get a lot more evaluation. You become a lot better official a lot quicker. Because, a lot of times in a high school game, it's hard to get the film. If you do get the film, you look at the 3 or 4 plays, you don't really have an outside evaluator come in and tell you what they think you did right or wrong. Or maybe John might get to see a couple games a year. Maybe you're lucky enough to have, Russ come out to 1 game a year, but you don't get the kind of evaluation that you really should get to develop quickly. I think that's the next step, really, to come with a video evaluation, is they'll be able to evaluate games quicker for the fouls and not fouls, and then finally it'll come to a buzzer. You guys ready to have some fun?
Sure.
See? Yes. Sure. Gotta have some fun, right? So this thing knows the rules of football, right? It also has all the information on the internet. So let's say, for example, I tell the model that pretend you are Bill Walsh. Call 1 run and 1 pass from your West Coast offense. You youngers got no Bill Walsh is, right? No? Against the 86 Bears defense. It is 3rd and 7. It knows the rules of football. So where is this going on the coaching side, do you think? Within a doubt, we know that now kids can have microphones and helmets on the college level, right? It just grabbed 2 plays from the West Coast offense, saw the Bears defense at a 3rd and 8 and a 3rd and 7, and it not only gave you the play, it gave you the formation, shotgun 11 personnel, shotgun draws, the run play they call. It gave you exactly what it was and then the rationale. And then if you go down there, there's the pass play. So where is this going on the field? I mean, the wealth of knowledge that's on the internet right now, I can see coaches using this more and more to get a specific advantage against certain teams, certain defense, certain characteristics, and really help the game overall. But for right now, if you are an official, if you are a younger official, please take advantage of AI. Use it outside of the fact that you came here, which is fantastic. And meet John, meet Dan. Find a mentor. I was lucky enough to find Greg Buckner at one of my first meetings I went to at Fox Valley. I asked him questions till today. One of the nicest, you'll never met a nicer group of people than football officials. They're just good people. No matter where you go in the country, they're good people. So take advantage of that. But also take advantage of the resource that AI has for you. If you're a veteran official, take advantage of the resources that you can use. Build your pre-games. Do anything you possibly can create around that. It'll write you tests. It'll do anything you want. It'll save you some time. And then finally, when it does start to come onto the field, don't be afraid to incorporate it. Don't be afraid to jump in, because it can only make us better, especially when we get into those situations where we do have that conflict on the field, and it would be great to have that eye in the sky. So I'm going to open it up for questions. Does anybody have any AI questions? I can't guarantee football.
What was the name of your website, Ryan?
Dave Systems Inc. DAVE Systems Inc. You can email me at jjkettleson.com. I do have to charge $10 a year for just to keep the lights on. But if you email me at jjkettleson@yahoo.com, or you can go to the site Dave Systems Inc. I'll waive that fee for you guys. Just say that you met me here at the association.
You said JJ Kettleson at Yahoo?
Yeah, at yahoo.com. jjkettleson@yahoo.com. Any other questions about AI or anything related to data science? Fun.
So you said right now most of the accuracy is with the NCAA rules or NFL rules?
NFL by far is the most accurate.
Okay.
And I don't know why that is. I think on the college level, the book is a little bit cleaner than the rule book in the NFL is the most clean. It also has the most information online, so it could be one of those two things. College, the book's a little cleaner. I think what the model has trouble with is, in the high school book, a lot of times you'll see it says, A, B34 fumbles, right, and recovers the ball. B, 34 fumbles and kicks the ball out of bounds. C, 34 fumbles and B recovers. You know, and then it has the answers in the rule book too. And I think sometimes the model screws up that association. Not really sure why exactly it's not reading the high school rules. I was talking to somebody else, and he was telling me that it might be because different states have a lot of different exceptions, and it's also trying to fight through those exceptions. As you know, the state of Texas plays by the NCAA rules. Nevada has its own set of rules, so there's a bunch of different rule books. It could also be that.
Can't you just plug in IHSA?
Well, we could try, but we have to use the National Federation High School Rule Book right now, which is accepted by most states, but there are variations. What I always say is use it to augment. So, like if you're taking a test, right? Everybody knows we got the test. If you read through the question, you can use an AI tool to help you, but then read through it and make sure everything looks good. You know, don't think about it because you know there's always going to be that chance that the model's going to be wrong. Plus, it's going to be used to augment your football rules knowledge. Any other questions? Good. Well, thank you guys so much for having me. I much appreciate it. Please, JJ Kettleson at Yahoo.com with any questions.
Thank you, Jim.